Hi guys, it is time to talk Real Housewives, Ultimate Girls, Trip, Ex-Wives Club, whatever we're calling it. Just aired on Peacock, but we're going to be talking about the feud between Vicki, Tamara, and Teddi, guys. I posted on YouTube in like the content area a couple of tweets between Vicki and Teddi Mellencamp, and it's kind of juicy for a Thursday, I think. So before we get started though, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn those notifications on, because you never know, these women live coast to coast and you want to make sure that you're getting updates so you know what's going on, right? Okay, so we have to talk about the feud, first of all. So there's a feud between Dorinda and Vicki going on, and then there's also a feud between Vicki and Teddi Mellencamp going on. Now, this is a feud that we see pretty often. Anytime Tamara gets a friend that she's close with or someone that she hangs out with a lot, Vicki gets really jealous. She's done this when they filmed, the last 12 years, I think anytime Tamara gets a close friend, Vicki gets very jealous, and she's not afraid to say that she doesn't like the friend for, and she'll list the very many reasons why, even if she's never met them. It all comes down to the fact that Tamara is her bestest, dearest friend, and she's jealous if Tamara has any other friends. And Tamara and Teddi are allegedly best friends now. Tamara took Teddi as her +1 to the MTV Music Awards, and they're doing the Two T's in a Pod podcast. And then, of course, Tamara is like tweeting, asking people to give Teddi a chance, and just, really, I guess, like advocating for her and showing everyone what wonderful, genuine friendship they have. So now we have an issue because Vicki is pissed at Teddi, and she's never met her, allegedly. And something transpires, but Vicki ends up calling Tamara and Teddi's boss over the podcast. And she calls and complains about Teddi, allegedly. This is what Teddi is saying. And allegedly she did it because she doesn't like Teddi, and because Teddi, and Tamara are doing this podcast together, basically. So they get into a tweet war, Vicki and Teddi do. Well, first Teddi talks about it on the podcast. She, says she doesn't know why Vicki doesn't like her. She's never met her. Get over the whole boring thing. Find a different narrative to not like me. Don't just, say you don't like me, but you've never met me and it's because I'm boring, or whatever the case may be. How Teddi is. And anyways, they started tweeting back and forth, and of course, Brooks's cancer scandal always gets brought up, and Teddi definitely tweeted about it. Go check that tweet out. Like I said, it's under the content on my YouTube. And see, where was Teddi's energy? She talked, I don't know, her tweet back to Vicki, we've never seen this sort of Teddi before. I think it's always in there, but she doesn't want anyone to really see it. So sometimes it comes out in situations like this where she's actually really pissed because Vicki called her boss, and, that's affecting her paycheck. And we all know how Teddi is. She's super cheap, and she watches every penny, and, et cetera, et cetera. So that is what the war is between Tamara, Teddi, and Vicki. It just comes down to Vicki not liking Teddi because of Tamara, and then of course Vicki calling the boss of their podcast. Okay. And now Teddi and Vicki are tweeting back and forth. So we kind of have a little bit of a Twitter war right now. But that's continuing, basically. So now let's break down what's going on between Dorinda and Vicki and Tamara, okay? Dorinda, we all know, is hosting the Real Housewives, Ultimate Girls, Trip, Ex-Wives Club, whatever we're calling it. She's hosting it at her home in Massachusetts. It's like a grounds, it's huge, beautiful. We've seen it featured many times on the Real Housewives of New York City. Vicki is very, I don't know what the word it would be, but of course, immediately when they start driving, they get out of the airport, and it's in the country. It's like the Berkshires, and I'm pretty sure that was a really high-end place that people, to get away from New York City for the weekend, families, they would take off. But that could have been the Catskills. So, But anyways, regardless, it's beautiful. The stage is gorgeous. Dorinda is like trying to be an amazing host. She has, you know, all kinds of food and chefs and flowers, and she's really taking her hosting this, you know, 6 days pretty serious. Now, as soon as they get in the car, of course, Vicki's like looking around like there's nothing here. Where do these people shop? They don't have a grocery store, blah, 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 blah. Like she's already kind of talking crap about it, right? So we don't know that, but Vicki does a live with Tamara and 2 other, I think they were like podcasters or something like that, and they asked about Blue Manor, and Vicki basically, you know, she was Vicki. She was rude about it, and she said that there's nothing there. She couldn't live out there. If that's what you like, but she likes to go shopping. She likes to do things, and you can't do that out there. There's nothing out there, just nothing. And she called Dorinda's house old. And she made the implication that the home was, well, I'll get to that. So of course, Dorinda hears this. You know how Dorinda is. She's pissed. She goes on the Jeff Lewis podcast, right? Of course, he says something about it. Why wouldn't he? And she said, you know what, Vicki? She was like, first of all, my home is historic. Okay, like it's a historical home. It's not old. And she said, secondly, you know what, Vicki? I don't date people that pretend to have cancer. And I don't date people that leave me for a woman half my age. So you know what, Vicki? I was dying. I couldn't believe those were her exact words, basically, on the Jeff Lewis show. She said, I don't date people that pretend to have cancer, and I don't date people that leave me for someone half their age. So that ensued, right? Fast forward, Entertainment Tonight interview with Tamara and Vicki. You know, they're talking about the ultimate girls trip coming up, and of course the feud between Dorinda and Vicki gets brought up. So Vicki says that her and Dorinda have texted because Tamara's like, did you guys make up? You know, like I think they all had to do press together, so she probably wanted to know what the situation was. And Vicki says, no, but we texted back and forth, and she basically was rude to me and da. And so Tamara, you know, knowing how Vicki is, she's like, I don't know about that, Vicki. Like, let me see your phone. What were you texting her? So Vicki pulls out her phone. Because Dorinda said she got 10,000 text messages from Vicki, which I can imagine because Vicki talks a lot, so she probably texts a lot too. So Tamara, already knowing how Vicki is, asked for Vicki's phone. She gets it out. She starts scrolling through the messages. She's counting how many messages Vicki has sent Dorinda with no response from Dorinda. So it was like 9 or 10, basically just saying like that she didn't call her house old, but also she had never had anything given to her. That's what Vicki said. Like she had just never had anything given to her. And Dorinda was like, my house wasn't given to me. My husband died. It was our home. So how is it given to me? Like, that doesn't make any sense, Vicki. Like, Vicki being, you know, the martyr that she is, and God bless her. She's, of course, a great hard worker, and she really was an OG at the beginning of the Real Housewives. But just not, I'm not surprised that her and Dorinda are going back and forth, but I think Dorinda in the end will kill it. What do you guys think? Whose team are you on? Team Dorinda or Team Vicki? Vicki wants to come back to the show. Dorinda says Andy said she's on pause. I just wanted to give you guys this quick, you know, rundown of the feud of what's been going on between the ladies so that you can stay up to date, because we're going to be talking more about the Teddi, Tamara, and Vicki situation. And then also a review from last night's Beverly Hills, which I did not think was very good. And then also we'll do the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Ex-Wives review next. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day.